if nothing else had been said, an awful lot of things have, very high quality things have been said at this conference, that to my mind justified the organisation of this event, because it is the most devastating indictment, not just of what was done in the past, but of the deep corruption, cynicism of the establishment of Croatia at the moment. Now, we can only have two quick questions. This lady here. Who's got the mic? Who's got the mic? Ooh, that's it. We must keep these quick.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I want to just say that I am the grandchild and child of victims of the crimes of Yugoslav communism. And I am indirectly a victim, which I can speak to, being denied the opportunity to grow up in my country of birth. My parents were forced to leave when I was 2 years old. And I saw my parents live in, doesn't really matter where, the United States. I was a child who witnessed the emotional, social cost that my parents experienced having to live as aliens in the United States in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Neighbors accusing them of being communists, which was the furthest of the truth. So I feel at least 3 generations were affected by the crimes of communism in my family. And my question is, would you please address how the crimes of communism that are being ignored by at least the current government of Croatia are impacting the national identity of Croatia, particularly in the youth of Croatia. I feel personally that the youth of Croatia and even retirees that I speak with in the small village that I live in Zagreb are lost. They have lost, they don't really have a national identity. And I'd like you to please speak to that.
Perhaps you could answer to that.
I can do that. So, I have to do it shortly, you said.
I didn't, but it's a good idea.
I will try to answer it. I mean, I think that the major danger is they do not, because they do not know the things. They do not know what happened in the past. They got the story that like communism was better order, better time. That's even the story which dominates our mainstream space now. And I think the major danger is they do not recognize what they get, and they accept those gender ideologies which are allied, closely allied in Croatia and elsewhere, but in Croatia especially with those communist bases, with communist ideologies. I think that's the main for Croats after suffering 45 years of not dictatorship, totalitarian regime, and with so much victims. I think that you cannot have your identity completed if you do not know that part of past. You do not know the important part of your culture, important part of your history, important part of your politics. So you have not complete knowledge. You are not complete persons who can decide about the things which are served to you by medias, by mainstream, etc.
Do you gentlemen have something to add?
Please.
It's difficult for me to say. I'm not aware of any social sciences, sociological research about the Croatian youth, about their worldview, about their opinions on recent history or older history. I think it all depends. I mean, first, new generations are coming, and these new generations, they are influenced by completely new social, as you know, as in the whole world. I mean, now you have social networks, you have YouTube, you have Twitter, that didn't exist maybe 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I didn't even know what is to be online. So that is changing, and that is changing, I think, perception of information globally. And here in Croatia, you have first, I mean, nobody can impose his singular view of the past, but I think it all depends on certain social group. I think a part of the youth are very patriotic, religious, proud of the Croatia, but again, and this also depends upon who are their parents and what is their social position and where they are living. In Croatia, it is not equal to live in Zagreb or to live in some other parts of Croatia. Conditions are completely different, and there is also, I'm certain that there is also a part of you that is more left-wing, more woke, more anti-fascist, and they think that is something that is good or positive. So, but what would be the what are the tendencies and what are the possible changes? I really can't say that at this moment. That is beyond my.
Okay,
my
thank
knowledge.
you. One more question? Nema?
No.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you to our three distinguished speakers who have enlightened us. We'll have some coffee, I think, and then we get back onto track with the next panel.